Okay, I'm recording this session. So good afternoon everyone. Shout out kay Oyi, Excel, tsaka Lloyd na nandito ngayon sa session natin. Okay, let's begin, no? We ended our last lecture with 2D stress state. Tapos ngayon, sabi ko, ngayon natin i-tackle yung 3D stress state, no? Because most of the time, parang whenever we calculate for the 3D principal stresses, parang nakakabit na rin doon yung yield criteria. No? So pwede natin i-discuss na rin ngayon yung yield criteria. Okay? So let's begin with ito practice problem number 3 that is shown on your screen. No? Okay? So let me try to move it around. No? Okay naman. Pangit ng brush ko. Wait. Okay na siguro yun. Okay? So ito, the first thing we need to do here is kailangan muna natin siyang i-convert into a stress tensor. So let's just represent it by, let's say, matrix A. No? And this is, we can do the calculations. If you read your modules, diba pwede natin siya ma-calculate using yung mga invariant na equations natin. So we have I kaya pala. Ayan, okay na. So let's just call it matrix A, yung stress tensor natin. Tapos para ma-compute natin siya, we can use yung I1, I2, and I3. Okay, tama? May mga ganito tayong invariant reactions. So hopefully, medyo naglalag. Bakit siya naglalag? May check lang ako. Okay, I think that's okay. Close lang ako ng a few programs. Hopefully, nag-improve yung stream natin. Pero mukhang hindi yata. But anyway, okay lang yan. So, di ba meron tayong itong mga invariant reactions natin. Pwede din gamitin ito para ma-solve siya. No? Pero since meron ng solution ito dun sa worksheets nyo, hindi ko na siya i-explain in more detail dito. No? Magbibigay actually ako ng isang another way to solve this, which I think is easier to do, no? Lalo na pag gumamit tayo ng yung MS Mathematics 4. So let's to explain the methodology, and actually it is related to how the invariants were taken in the first place or derived in the first place, no? So if we take your matrix A, tapos gusto natin siyang parang decompose into two components. So pwede natin siya actually ma-decompose, no? So we can have something that looks like this. Okay. So this is a 3x3 matrix, no? Tapos hindi ko lang silulat lahat, pero pwede actually siyang ma-decompose into a first tensor. Itong tensor na to. So this is our initial stress tensor, no? Sometimes we call it as a Cauchy stress tensor, no? Okay, so ito, yung stress tensor natin, pwede natin siyang ma-decompose into two parts. No? So yung first part is what we call as a hydrostatic stress. So hydrostatic stress just means that there is no shear stress. No shear stress is involved. Tapos ang meron lang is just a uniform na stress that acts on all three phases of the stress element. Okay, so kaya siya ganyan. So I'll use the symbol lambda, no, to indicate kung ano yung hydrostatic stress. Diba? So this is your hydrostatic stress. Tapos, if that's your hydrostatic stress, then magiging to come back to the original equation. No? So dapat dito, so hindi ko na isusulat siguro yung mga subscription, no? Pero it should look something like sigma. So it should be sigma. This is sigma xx, no? So hindi ko na isusulat yung subscript, pero magiging sigma x, sigma xx minus lambda. Kasi ito is sigma, let's use the tau symbol, no? So ito tau. And move ko lang yung no? Move lang natin to. Kasi konti yung space natin. Move natin siya dito. Okay. So meron tayong sigma xx, ito tau xy. So dito yung another, sige, sulat ko na nga. Sigma x, tau xy, tau yx. And pwede yan magkabaliktad, no? Kasi asymmetrical naman yung stress tensor natin. And this is your tau, mas maganda pala kung xy to. So ito is yx. So this becomes tau xz. Then you have dito si tau tau YZ. Tama? And this is tau sigma Y YY or simply just sigma Y, no? Minus lambda. Tapos dito naman sigma Z minus lambda. Tapos dito, we'll just complete it, no? Kung ito XZ, then this is tau Z ZX. Tama? Tapos ito dito yung tau XYZ. So ito ay tau ZY. Tama, no? So symmetrical naman siya. Tau YZ, tau ZY, tau YX, tau XY, ito tau XC, tau ZX. Tapos ito sigma X, sigma Y, and sigma Z. Okay? So if you add these two stress tensors, magka-cancel out lang yung lambda, no? So ito minus lambda, minus lambda, minus lambda ito. Tama? So we call this tensor as your deviatoric stress tensor, no? Yun yung pangalan niya. Now, what's interesting about the deviatoric stress tensor is, so let's just say na ito ay J, no? J siya. So, if you take the determinant of the matrix J and equate it to 0, actually, we end up with what we call as a eigenvalue calculation, no? So, ito medyo higher advanced mathematics na to, no? Or advanced linear algebra. I don't think kina-cover to sa current linear algebra, no? Pero ito, pagka kinompute siya, you'll end up with characteristic equations, and those characteristic equations will give you yung mga itong I calculations na to. Okay? So, the good thing about this type of method is that kasi meron tayong mga programs that can actually compute for linear equations, no? Or matrix equations. So MS Mathematics 4, yung ipapakita ko sa inyo na software ngayon, can actually do this calculation, no? So pwede nga gawin natin, input lang natin itong stress tensor, itong deviatoric stress tensor J, tapos kunin natin yung determinant niya to get your lambda values. So yung lambda na makukuha natin dito, actually ang tawag dito is these are your eigen values, no? And for stress tensors, yung eigenvalues na mapoproduce mo, so it will have 3 roots actually, no? Tapos yung mapoproduce natin is actually yung sigma 1, sigma 2, and sigma 3. So yun yung 3 roots na yun. Okay? And yung 3 roots na yun will be now our principal stresses. So ito, these are principal stresses. Tapos, if you get what we call as your eigenvectors, so sa eigenvalue calculations, no, makakapag-produce din tayo ng eigenvectors, and these eigenvectors are just your directional cosines. Okay? So try natin. For this example, try natin siyang i-input sa ating MS Mathematics 4, tapos tingnan natin kung ano makukuha natin. Okay, so stress tensor muna tayo. So naalala niyo pa kung paano? Ang stress tensor is, if this is, para ba itong orientation na? This is X, this is Y dito, and, no, sorry. X, Y, Z. Dito pa lang Y, and dito yung Z. Okay? So, sigma X natin is equal to, we have tensile. So, ano yung, ano natin dito? Yung convention? Is it negative or positive? Sige, tawagin ko si Excel. Pagka tensile in nature yung stress, would we assign a positive value or negative value? Diyan ba si Excel? Wala ata. Tawag tayo na iba. Si Lloyd.
Positive, sir.
Tama, no? So pagka ano tayo, our convention in this class, no, although maybe there exists some other convention no, na baliktad siya, pero for us, at least sa textbooks na nakikita ko, parating pag tensile siya, positive yung X natin. How about sa ES nyo? Ngayon kayo nag-ES 1, ano ba yung 102? Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
Sa ES 102 nyo, ano ba yung convention? Is it positive tensile din?
Positive din po. Tensile.
Okay. So that's good, no? At least consistent naman yung ano natin, yung conventions. So we do 75 dito, positive. Tapos unahin muna natin yung mga ano, no? Yung X, Y, and Z's. or yung mga normal. So hopefully natatandaan nyo pa no? Yung difference between a normal stress and a shear stress value. So usually pag normal, sigma yung binibigay natin na symbol. Tapos pagka shear, yun yung tau. No? I think I had a discussion about this in more detail dun sa, no? Sa last session natin. Okay? So ito, normals muna tayo. So 75. So that the normal is along the diagonal. No? So normal, 75. Tapos asan yung next natin? Sigma y. Sigma y is this direction. So that's 200. Also positive, no? Tapos ang last natin is the z direction, which is now a negative value, no? So we have negative 125. Okay? Tapos, ang gagawin natin is kunin natin um, yung mga tau values natin or shear stresses natin. No? So we have we have 6 values that we have, pero only 3 of them are unique, no? Kasi symmetric kasi ito, so equal lang yung magkabilang sides, no? So let's do ano muna, tau on the x plane muna tayo, no? So this is on the x plane, moving on the positive, x plane, na dito pala yung x plane natin. So this is our x plane. So yan. So x plane, tapos itong 15 na to is moving in the positive y direction. No? So that's positive x, positive y. So gives us a positive na shear stress value. Okay? So ganun yung convention natin. No? Hopefully na explain naman to in detail sa dun sa modules natin. So kung positive positive, multiply lang natin, that gives us positive. So saan ba dito? This is a positive. So this is positive 15 and therefore positive 15 nandito. Okay? Tapos punta tayo sa y plane naman. So in the y, sorry. Tama nga ba to? Tama. So sa y plane, this is your y plane, positive y plane. And it's moving in the positive z direction. No? So that's positive y moving in the positive z direction. Therefore, itong 10 na to is equal sa positive na 10 din siya. So that's how we do conventions in shear stresses. No? So hindi natin tinitingnan kung ano siya, kung yung counterclockwise ba or counterclockwise, kasi parang depending on how you look at it, pwede magkaiba, no? Kasi wala naman tayong parang axis na tinitingnan talaga, or walang axis na nakaharap sa atin in a way, no? Okay? So ito 10 and 10. Tapos lastly, this is the positive z axis. So that's positive z, and it's also moving in the positive x direction. So in that sense, dapat 25 siya. Tama? Positive din to. So all of our shear stress values is actually positive, no? Okay? So lipat tayo sa MS Mathematics 4, tas input natin tong value na to. So, but before that, kung given tong Cauchy stress tensor natin na ganito, ang itsura lang ng ano natin, ng deviatoric stress tensor will become 75 minus, let's just say x, no? X yung hinahanap natin. Tapos 15, ito 200 minus x, 25, 10, tapos negative 125 minus x din, 10 and 25. So input natin to. So let's transfer. Bubuksan ko pala muna. So hopefully, na download nyo itong software to. Again, I highly advise this software, no, kasi sobrang useful niya, no. Meron pa atang mga iba na kayang gumawa ng itong calculations na to, pero I think itong si MS Mathematics 4 is the best one so far, no. So let's see. MS Math. Okay. Ayan, nakikita niyo yung screen. So ito yung interface ng MS Mathematics 4, no. So on the left side, makikita niyo yung parang mga operations. Ito yung calculator natin. Tapos on the right side, dito ipapakita yung solution tong sa area na to. Tapos, let me change my mouse na para mas makita nyo. Nakikita nyo ba? Okay. So ito, this is our parang equations area. Dito tayo maglalagay ng mga expressions natin. Then when we're ready, we can click enter. No? So gagawin natin is punta tayo muna sa matrices. No? So where is linear algebra? Nandito siya. Linear algebra. So let's insert a matrix. No? Ito. And we do 3 by 3. Tama? It's a 3 by 3 matrix kasi yun yung stress tensor natin. And it gives us this one. No? So dito, i-input lang natin yung stress matrix natin. So ilipat ko lang para mas makita natin. Okay? Nakikita nyo pa ba? Kita pa naman, no?
Yes po.
Okay. So we do 75, tama? Minus x dito. Tapos next is 15. Dito is 25. Ito 15. So ito lang yung sinetup natin kanina na deviatoric stress tensor, no? So we go 10.
Sir, di
Tapos,
ba nakikita ngayon?
ay, hindi nakita. Ano
Yung baba.
Ay, hindi kita yung baba. Oh, wait. Ayan, kita na, no?
Yan po, sir. Okay na po.
Okay. So next is dito is 25, then we have 10 as well dito, and lastly it's negative 125 minus x. Tama? Okay. So what we do is you can click here itong determinant, or pwede rin i-type nyo na lang det. So that will indicate na determinant yung hinahanap nyo. So I'll just transfer this, itong matrix na to, lipat natin sa loob nito, no? So yeah. So this is determinant should be equal to 0. Okay? So ang syntax talaga niya is parang solve for x, tas ganito, no? Pero itong si MS Math 4, smart enough na siya pag nakita niya na ganito yung in-input nyo, tas nag-enter kayo, siya na yung magpo-provide ng para missing na syntax. So if I press enter, you'll see dito sa first line, no? Hopefully nakikita niyo siya. Hindi ko alam kung kaya ko ba i-zoom to. Ito, naz-zoom pala siya. So let's do 150. So hopefully nakikita nyo. So nakita nyo dito sa first line, ito yung syntax actually. Siya na nagdagdag, no? So the way this is read is we are solving for variable x in this equation. Okay? So yung we do solve, open parenthesis. Yung first argument is the equation. Tapos we do comma, and second argument is the value that we are looking for. We can also do n solve, no? So if you type n solve, that is calculating for multiple variables naman siya. So kahit dito, kaya din mag-solve ng multiple variables dito sa mathematics 4. No? So you'll notice na meron siyang binigay na 3 solutions, no? Tama? And these 3 solutions will actually satisfy itong lambda values natin or yung x values. So ito, this is actually our principal stresses na. So tingin ko mas madali siyang i-compute, tama? So automatic na ito. We have 202, that will be our sigma 1 kasi siya yung highest value. Sigma 2 natin is 75.99 and sigma 3 natin is negative 128.3. Okay? So you can also check this, no, kung parehas lang ba siya na makukuha natin if we do the traditional method, which is gumamit tayo ng I1, I2, I3, and hopefully you should get the same answers, no? Okay? So it depends on you guys. So let me, I don't know, ano yung sagot natin? So we have sigma 1 and siguro pwede ko i-copy yung sagot, no? So sa exams, we are allowing you to use MS Mathematics 4. So if you feel that it is more parang it's easier to use, then you can use MS Mathematics 4, no? So you can just do something like ganyan sa solution, no? Tapos lagyan nyo na lang na taken from MS Math 4. Tapos pwede rin i-attach nyo yung worksheet na to kasi if you do ganito, hindi ko alam kung makikita nyo. File, hindi lumalabas. So I need to show general. So, ito, if you do ganyan, so nandito siya, no? If you do file, tapos save, masisave nyo actually yung worksheet na to. Tapos ako, pwede kong buksan, tapos makikita kung ano yung mga equations na in-input nyo. So, you can do that, tapos i-attach nyo na lang if ever you used MS Mathematics 4, no? Okay? Okay, so balik tayo. So, from here, pwede na natin isulat sigma 1 is equal to 202.3. This is MPA, no? Tama, naka-MPA naman to. Yeah, it's an MPA. So, sigma 2 is equal to, sigma 2 is 75.9. So, let's just do 76 MPA. And sigma 3 is equal to negative 128.3 MPA. Okay, so just like that, na-solve na natin yung sigma values natin. Okay? So as compared to yung I1, I2, I3 method, pwede rin naman. So if gusto nyo i-compare natin ngayon, tapos pwede rin natin gamitin yung MS Math, no, to do it. Okay? So try natin. Sige, para may comparison tayo, no? So let's transfer. So I1 muna tayo. How do you compute for I1? So I1 is just the sum of the, tama? It's the sum of the, so lipat muna tayo dito. So try natin i-compare kung same lang ba yung sagot. We have I1 is equal to just the sum of the diagonal, no? So that's 75 plus 200 minus 125. That's I1. Tapos I2, alala ba yung I2? I2 is, let me try to remember. Or buksan ko na lang yung module. Tapos i-paste ko na rin dito, no? Okay. Ito siya. So try natin i-compare, no? Check natin kung alin yung mas madali. So ito siya. So I1 is equal to yung sum ng diagonals. I2 natin is equal to, it's tau squared yz plus tau zy squared plus tau xy squared minus sigma yy sigma zz minus sigma zz sigma xx, etc. etc. So actually ito class, if you can't remember this, no, and if you want to try to remember this I2, is actually just the determinants of the 2 by 2 matrices na mabubuo natin. So for example, if you look at this one, ito, ang determinant nito is, sorry, dito pala. Determinant nito, this is actually, diba, 75 times 200 minus 15 squared. Which, if you look at it, ito siya. Ito siya yung term na to. It's the negative of the determinant. So, negative siya ng sum, negative ng summation ng mga determinants ng mga 2 by 2 matrices. So, if you look at it, diba, parang ito. So, if we put a negative sign, let's put a negative sign. So ito magiging negative to lahat. Ito, negative, and this becomes positive, no? So if you look at it, if you see itong sigma yy, sigma zz, or punta tayo sa xx, yy. So ito, sigma xx, sigma yy minus itong tau xy squared. So that's just this one, determinant nito. Tapos if you look at, kunwari ito naman, we look at this one, that's sigma yy times sigma zz minus sigma tau yz squared. Tama? So ito siya, sigma yy sigma zz minus itong tau yz squared, which is this one. Tama? Tapos you can also find yung last natin is if we do if you look at this, no, kunwari dito sa side na to, if you parang sort of delete ito, kunwari cancel mo yan. So this is actually just 2 by 2, no. Dito naman it's sigma xx sigma zz minus tau xz squared. Okay, so yun, that's one way to do it para hindi kayo kumbaga kung hindi nyo maalala itong ganitong notation, kaya nyo siyang ma-determine, no, using parang the 2 by 2 determinants of the 2 by 2 matrices. So let's do it here. Input natin lahat, no? So that's 75. And pwede bang maisa sa inyo mag-calculate na? Para ma-input na natin yung Or sige, pwede naman input ko na lang sa MS Math 4. So, what is this? This is 75. Negative ng, so follow ko na lang yung notation dito, no? So that's tau yz squared. So that's 15. Oop. Sorry, lakas naglolo ko yung Need to kung kailan ko i-disable yung Windows Ink. Ito ata nagpapabagal. Hopefully that should improve. Okay, minus 125. I2, let's do I2 is equal to itong 15 squared plus that's 25 squared plus 10 squared minus 75 times 200 minus plus na natin para matanggal na yung negative sa 125. And lastly, plus ulit 200 times 125. Tama? That's our I2. Tapos I3 natin is equal to, actually si I3 is actually the determinant, no, of the entire matrix. Tama? So parang kung naalala nyo pa yung basket weave method, yung dadagdag nyo, yung maggaganito tayo, dagdag natin yung dito, yung values dito, dito, ganyan. Tapos basket weave is doing this way, minus, yan. Hindi ko alam kung naituro sa inyo yan, pero hopefully naituro siya, no? So you can do that, and ang mangyayari is you should end up with this equation, no? Ito equation right here. Okay, so that's sigma xx yyz. So that's, ilagay ko na yung negative dito sa harap, no? So that's 75, 200, and 125. Tapos plus 2 times tau x, y, and z. So that gives me, wala namang negative, no? So diretso na, positive to lahat. 15, Then we have 25 and 10. Tama? It's minus. It's sigma x minus sigma x is 75 times yung hindi siya involved. So that's yung 10, no? Tama? Yung 10 squared. Tapos next is sigma y, which is yung 200. So yung sama niya is yung 25 squared. Tapos lastly, ito plus 125 times yung 15, no? Yung 15 squared. Okay? So let's do this in MS Math 4. Diyan na putol. Wait lang kasi. Let me filters. Oh, filter. Nakaputol to. Anyway, sige. Okay lang. Nakita nyo naman, no? So, let's try to do it. So, input natin lahat ng equation. We have I1 natin is equal to I1 is 75 plus 200 plus that's minus 125. So yan, yung I1 natin. I2 is 15 squared plus 25 squared plus 10 squared minus 75 times. Sabihin nyo kung may mali akong na-input plus 75 times 125 plus 200 times 125. Okay? So yung I2 natin. I3 natin is negative 75 times 200 times 125 plus 2 times 15 times 25 times 10. Tapos minus 75 times 10 squared minus 200 times 25 squared plus last is 125 times 15 squared. Okay? Gives us itong value na to. Okay? So yung formula natin is para mahanap yung principal stresses is yung principal stress daw. So let's do x, no? X cube. So x cube minus I1. So that's itong I1 na to, no? So let's just copy this. I1 I1 times x squared minus I2, which is this one. I2 times x minus yung last is I3, no, which is this one. Okay, or we can do just plus is equal, and we equate this to 0. Tapos if we press enter, it should give us a solution to this problem, no? Okay, and you should find siya na rin naglagay ng syntax, no? It's solve the equation na to when we are solving for x in this particular equation. Okay, and notice how the answers are the same, no? You look at it, 202.8, negative 128, negative positive 76, which is the same as yung answer na nakuha natin dito. Okay, so it's up to you guys, no, kung ano yung you feel is more comfortable. So if you like to use the invariant equations, then you can use the invariant equations, and you can get away with using just your calculator, no? So pwedeng yung cycle nyo lang gamitin nyo, and you can solve for this equation. Or if you want, you can also use this deviatoric stress tensor, no? And you get the determinant equated to 0, and when you solve for that, you should get the same answer, no? With this method. Okay? Questions? Okay ba tayo dun? So, nakikita nyo naman yung parang siguro power ng MS Math 4, no? So, highly suggest na you download it. Tapos, you can play around with it a little bit, no? Kasi, Pico, hindi lang siya sa course na to magagamit, no? Magagamit siya kahit sa ibang majors, no? Lalo na pagka yung mga maraming equations. I think, and that is, of course, if your teacher allows it, no? If your teacher allows the use of powerful calculators, then pwede nyo magamit actually itong MS Math 4, no? Okay? So, no questions? But okay na tayo dito. So, that's for, pwede ba mag-thumbs up or yes icon? Ayan, meron naman mga nag-thumbs up. So, thank you for the feedback. Now we can proceed, no? We're done with 3D stress state. And if you have any questions, das nahihiya lang kayo, just input it in the chat box na lang, no? Para pwede kong balikan. Okay? So, proceed tayo with the next lesson natin, which is our, yung yield criteria naman natin. Okay? So, let's go. Yield criteria. So, yung yield criteria, actually, yung pinaka-basic na yield criteria is actually the ultimate tensile test, no? So, if you think about it, I think I've mentioned this before, you know. So, for example, if you have a stress strain diagram and you're doing uniaxial test, well, uniaxial test lang siya, no? Something like this. Then it makes sense that if you go past this particular value, kunwari ito yung sigma y natin, no? And let's call it sigma y. If you go past sigma y or the parang yield strength niya or yield point niya, then you expect that your material will yield, no? Tama? Kasi kung uniaxial lang to, then this is the easiest way, no? Pero not all, hindi naman lahat ng use case natin or yung service conditions is uniaxial, no? So think about, for example, kung meron kang beam, kunwari. So a beam could have multiple, depending on the arrangement of the beam, no? Pwede siyang magkaroon ng multiple na stresses. So pwedeng meron kang stress na paganyan, meron kang stress dito, depending on, no? Tapos meron din stress on the Z direction as well, no? So kumari 3 dito. So, hindi natin alam actually, no? Kung ano yung magiging stresses involved sa kanya. So with that said, hindi sapat na tong sigma, itong uniaxial na test lang, no? Itong simplest natin na yield criteria. Okay? So if that's the case, then we need to employ the use of other criteria, no? Oyi, you're raising your hand.
Sir, di ko po sure kung nag-freeze lang po yung screen ko. Pero,
Oo nga pala. Sorry. Ayan, ito.
Thank you po, sir.
So, thank you, Oyi, no? So ito yung sinasabi ko, class, no? So if you have, kunwari, stress strain diagram na ganito, sigma x, sigma y, then if you go past this particular value, then you are sure na kung uniaxial lang yung loading mo, meaning something like, kunwari, ito yung material nyo. Kung uniaxial lang siya, it's moving in one direction lang, ganyan. Then automatic na if ang yield criteria lang natin is that if the actual, kunwari, if the actual is greater than sigma y, then yielding will occur. Tama? It's as simple as that, no? Pero we note that in service conditions, hindi ganito palagi yung ano, no? So there are conditions wherein pwede nating yung stresses na involved lang niya sa kanya is uniaxial, no? And in those conditions, pwede actually gamitin lang to. Okay? But there are conditions wherein parang multiple yung loads na experience ng material natin. And this can be defined by a stress state, no? So pwede siya ma-define as a 2D stress state, pwede siya ma-define with a 3D stress tensor. Okay? So with that said, kailangan meron tayong iba pang methods of dealing with the yield criteria, no? So kailangan meron tayong iba pang alternatives or iba pang criteria that could satisfy yung more complicated na stress states, no? And that is where your von Mises criterion, yung or VM, minsan tinatawag lang siyang VM criterion, no? Von Mises or yung Tresca criterion papasok. Okay? Von Mises or Tresca. Okay? So, let's go first to Tresca muna, no? And let me take an example. So let's do practice problem 1, no? Oh, mali. So let's try to do this. So ito siya. So sa practice problem 1 natin, and let me zoom in. So sabi daw, meron tayong stress analysis ng isang material. Tapos ito yung resulting na state of stress niya, no? So it's a 3D stress state. And it is made of an alloy with a yield strength of 300 megapascals. That meaning nung ni-UTM siya, ang lumabas na sigma y niya or the yield strength niya is actually 300 megapascals, no? So we want to check if magkakaroon ba to ng yielding using the von Mises criterion or magkakaroon ba siya ng yielding using the Tresca criterion. Okay? So if you remember our equations, no? If you look at the equations for von Mises and Tresca, actually you'll see na it's easier, or both equations is easier employed if we have your principal, kung naka-principal stresses tayo. So if you look at si Tresca, so let me copy Tresca, no? This is your Tresca criterion. Yan. Tapos si von Mises naman is, and I won't show the derivation class, no? Kayo na bahala tumingin dong sa derivations nito. Pero ito yung final form niya. Okay? So ito si von Mises. So this is Tresca. Ito naman si von Mises. Okay? So, notice how ito, mas madaling gamitin sila if, and in fact, ito yung simplified form nila, no? Meron pang mas parang general form siya, pero yung general form kasi it involves yung mga tau values, no? Ito actually may mga tau values siya, no? And almost always mas madali gamitin ang mga itong Tresca and von Mises criteria natin if we have a principal stresses. Okay? So ito kasi if we have principal stresses, 'di ba itong part na to, actually mawawala lang siya. Tama? Ito. Wait. Ay. Itong part na to, magiging 0 lang, no? Kung naka tawag dito, principal stresses, because 'di ba, if you remember, principal stresses is a stress state wherein, or a representation of a stress state wherein yung only stress values that are present are the normal stresses or yung mga sigma, tapos lahat ng tau disappear sila, no? Naging 0 sila. So we can use we can also use kunwari as is, ito as is, no? Pwedeng natin siya, gamitin natin siya because the von Mises criterion has this form, no, wherein pwede mo i-input yung tau. Pero I think it's easier if we solve for the principal stresses muna, para at least kasi si Tresca requires that you use principal stresses, no. the sigma max and the sigma minimum. Okay? Sige. So, try natin siyang gamitin. So before that, we need to solve for this stress state, and pwede sigurong gamitin natin um, yung deviatoric stress tensor na method, no? Kasi feel ko mas madali siya. So let's do it. This is sigma x natin, x, y, z. So sigma x is 75. This is the same stress tensor. Para magkaiba, no? Iba siya. So hindi natin mauulit. Okay, so it's 75. Tapos sigma y natin is positive 200. Sigma z natin is negative 125. Parang same lang. Pero iba yung z value. Tama ba? That's 75, 200, and negative 125. Same yung XYZ. Ang magkaiba is 15, 25. Tama. Yung sa Z lang nung una is naka-10 siya, no? So this time, 45 siya. Okay? So pwede ko I can just copy the first equation tapos palitan ko lang ng 10. So let me show you. Kasi i-continue lang natin to. So baka kasi same ba? So it's positive x, kunwari ito positive x plane moving in the positive y direction. So 15 is also positive. Then you have C25 positive y plane moving in the positive z direction. So positive ulit. C25 which should be that's I don't know. Ano sabi ko? X positive y plane moving in the z direction. So ito 25. Tama? And last is yung positive. Ito, this is the positive z plane moving in the x direction. So this is moving in the positive x direction. So positive din to, 45. So same as before, pinalitan lang yung 10 with 45. No? Tapos, since deviatoric stress tensor ang ano natin, lagyan natin ng minus x dito. No? Minus x, minus x, minus x. Then we get the determinant. We equate this to 0. Okay? So, lipat tayo sa ano natin, MS Math. And pwede kong copyin lang to, no? I can just copy this. So, yun yung maganda din sa MS Math 4, no? So, pwede kayo mag-copy paste. So, ito, I can copy this equation. Paste it right here. Tapos, palitan ko lang to. Wait. Lipat tayo, no? This is positive z moving in the positive x direction. Tama naman, 45. So magkaiba from the previous example kanina. Let me check double check ko lang class, no? Baka magkaiba talaga. Or possible na nagkamali tayo sa ano, no? Let me check. See, sample problem number 2. Number 3. Let's double check. Okay. Kaya pala. So, ito siya. Yung sample problem number 2 natin. So, nagkabaliktad din pala yung ano, no? Baliktad din yung ano niya. Yung 25 niya nandito, tas 10. So, hindi lang pala straight isa-swap natin si 45 with 10. No? Kasi dito si 25, dito si 10. So, ang ginawa niya is, instead of 10, 25 siya. Pero tas instead of 45, instead of 25, 45 yung nandito. Okay? So, okay. So, magsaswap din pala tayo. So, this becomes now, if we transition to our, I don't know. So, ito, this is actually yung 45. Tama? 45. And this is also 45. Tapos ito yung 25 natin. If you find something wrong sa ginawa ko ng class, just call me out. Baka may na-miss ako. Pero mukhang tama naman, no? Tama ba? May nakita ba kayong mali? Let's double check. So that's 45, puro positive, no? Positive x, positive y. This is positive z, positive x, positive x, positive y. Okay? So I think tama naman. So balik tayo doon. Okay? So that, let's press down and enter. And it should give us the 3 roots, no? And this is the 3 roots. And I could just copy this. Tapos, lagay ko lang siya dito, no? Ayan. And I could say na parang using MS Math 4. Okay. So, this is now equal to my sigma 1. This is sigma 3. And this is sigma 2. Tama? So, let's compute for Tresca muna, no? So, si Tresca criterion, we could actually just remove the over 2, no? So, if you remove over 2, kasi magka-cancel out lang naman, then we just look at sigma max minus sigma min. Tapos tingnan natin if it's greater than or equal to sigma y. Okay? So, sigma max, so we do Tresca. Tresca muna. So, sa Tresca, sigma max is equal to
Sir,
the...
nasa calculator yung
Ay, sorry.
nakikita.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. So, ito, pinaste ko na, no, yung sigma values natin. So, nandito siya sigma 1, sigma 3, sigma 2. Tapos, sa Tresca, equal lang siya sa itong equation na to. And ang ginawa ko lang, kinancel ko lang yung 2 class, no, kasi may 2 naman on both sides. No? So, that becomes sigma max. And sigma max is sigma 1. No? So, sigma 1 minus sigma 3 over should be greater than or equal to, for yielding to occur. No? Should be greater, or pwede ring you can do it this way. No? Should be less than sigma y for yielding to not occur. So, it all depends kung ano yung perception, no? Or we can do parang gano'n, no? So, nakaganyan kayo. Sigma 1 and pwede ganito nyo siya i-state. So, you want to know kung ano yung relationship nila. Yung sigma 1 minus sigma 3 versus yung sigma y natin, which is given here, no? Sabi 300 daw from the uniaxial test. Okay? So, we do, and Tresca is actually easier to compute, no? Kasi simple lang yung equation niya. Ang kailangan lang is ma-solve natin muna tong ano. So we have 204.64 plus, kasi minus negative, no? So that's plus, and sige, sulat ko na lang minus negative 136.01, 0.02. Is it greater than, equal, or less than yung sigma y, which is 300, no? So if you compute that, then that becomes 204, and you can compute it with me as well, no? 64 plus 136, pero obviously it's greater than 300, no? So this is obviously greater than 300, and our value is 340.63. And correct me kung same tayo or iba tayo ng nakuha sagot, no? So this becomes, it's greater than 300. So it's greater than 300, therefore yielding will occur. Okay? So that is for the Tresca criterion. No? Okay? So let's try naman what happens if we use the von Mises criterion. Okay? So si von Mises criterion, and we can just remove this kasi principal stresses naman tayo. So it's just sigma y minus sigma z. So parang i-pair mo lang yung permutations between the sigma x and the sigma y and the sigma z. And notice that hindi actually nagmamatter, no? If you do sigma z minus sigma y, it wouldn't really matter kasi is-square naman natin. Okay? So kumbaga the direction doesn't really matter, no? yung negative nun, magka-cancel out lang din naman. Okay? So, let's do that. Dito, we have 204. Diretso ko na, no? 204.6 minus 81.4 squared plus, ano pa yung next? 204.6 plus 136 136 lang squared. And lastly, plus 81.4 plus itong 200 plus 136. Tama? Lahat ng combination. No? So this is sigma 1, sigma 1 and sigma 2, sigma 1 and sigma 3, tapos sigma 2 and sigma 3. Okay? And we want to know if anong relationship niya with your sigma y, which is 300. Okay? So let's look at it. Calculate natin siya. 204.6 minus 81.4 squared. Ay, diretso ko na. 204.6 minus 81.4 squared plus 204.6 plus 136 squared. And if you have the answer already, let me know, class, no, para ma-compare ko din kung pares tayo ng sagot. Square. May squared pa pala to, no? Tama? Kasi if you look at the von Mises criterion, in fact, 2y squared na siya. 2y squared. Okay. So this becomes 178,449.4. And hindi natin lagyan ng units. Oh. Kasi magiging parang megapascal squared units niya. So ito, compare natin with 2 times 300 squared. This gives us 180. And you notice that yung 180,000 and siguro dito na is actually greater than 178. So meaning, hindi siya lumagpas, di ba? So this means that yielding will not occur. Okay? According, so pwedeng ilagay natin, according to von Mises. Kasi ito, according to Tresca. Okay? Another way, actually, class, no, of doing this is pwede actually mag-compute kayo ng so kunwari ito, instead of directly comparing the two, pwede actually instead of that, gawin natin is sigma 1 minus sigma 3 is equal to yung Tresca stress, no? So pwedeng ganyan. Compute nyo muna yung Tresca stress. Tapos from Tresca stress, i-compare nyo ngayon with sigma y. If it's greater, then it will yield. If it's not greater, then it will not yield. Okay? Tapos dito, same dito, no? So, compute muna tayo ng sigma VM. So, let's try to do that, no? Ito, sa Tresca, medyo halos same naman, no? Kasi yung kino-compare natin directly with sigma y. Pero dito kasi kino-compare natin with 300 squared times 2, no? So, baka mas nakakalito dito sa part na to. So, hindi siya intuitive. Actually, what we can do is, instead of doing this, gawin natin is, we compute for sigma VM. Okay? And if we compute sigma VM, this gives us 178,449.4. Kunin natin yung square root niya. Tama? We take the square root of this value and divide it by 2. Okay? Wait. Square root ng 178,449.4 So that gives us we divide it by 2 muna, then square root. Tama? Kasi itong 2, divide muna by 2, then we take the square root. So that's 178.449.4. I divide that by 2, then take the square root. We get 298.7. And this is 298.7 megapascals. Ito, no? So you can see that ito kumbaga mas intuitive yung comparison niya, no? So yung von Mises criterion or yung von Mises stress na na-compute natin is 298, which is less than the yield stress or the uniaxial yield stress. Therefore, you can make the conclusion, no? Ito, that yielding will not occur. Okay? And pwede siguro kopyahin ito. Yeah. Okay? So you can do it this way, diretso lang, compare mo sa using straightforward yung von Mises criterion, or pwedeng i-compute mo muna yung tinatawag na von Mises stress, tapos tsaka mo i-compare dito sa sigma y. So you can do whatever you feel is more intuitive, no? Ito, I think this method, yung kinocompute yung von Mises stress at kinocompute yung the Tresca stress, mas intuitive siya, no? Kasi parang kumbaga kinocompute nyo yung predicted na stress level using a particular criterion, tapos i-compare natin sa parang threshold, sa isang threshold. Okay? Pero nagtataka ako kung bakit masyadong malaki. It shouldn't be this large, or it should. Hindi, okay lang pala. That will make sense naman. Okay? So with this said, no, parang obvious naman, class, no, that the Tresca is actually more conservative. Tama? It's more conservative because for the same stress state, parang sinasabi niya na mag-yield na siya. Pero si von Mises, sinasabi niya, ay okay pa yan, hindi pa yan mag-yield. Tama, no? So in that sense, medyo kaya natin nasasabi na si Tresca criterion is always more conservative than your von Mises criterion. And in fact, pwede natin compute, no? So kunwari, magko-compute tayo ng tinatawag na factor of safety. So let's compute for factor of safety, no? Or safety factor equal to sa parang sigma actual over sigma yield. Tama? Tama nga ba? Let me review my notes. Sorry, baliktad pala. It's equal to yield stress. Ito, mas nagme-make sense. Yield stress over yung actual. Okay? So actual being yung predicted ng von Mises at yung Tresca, no? So if you compute 300 yung yield over 340 gives us a factor of safety na 300 over 340 gives us 0.88. Tapos yung factor of safety ng this is Tresca, no? And sa von Mises naman, it's equal to 300 over 298 gives us 1. Pero sobrang late lang, 1.067. So the higher the factor of safety, the more conservative, kumbaga, kung the higher the factor of safety, the safer the conditions. So kumbaga mas malayo ka pa sa we can say na parang margin to of error, no? Parang ganun. And you notice na this is the same stress state, no? Pero sinasabi ni Tresca ay delikado na yan kasi yung factor of safety mo is 0.88 lang. Pero sinasabi ni von Mises, di okay pa yan kasi factor of safety greater than 1 naman eh. So in that sense, using factor of safety, masasabi pa rin natin na mas conservative si Tresca criterion. That's why in practice, pag nagko-compute yung mga engineers, usually Tresca criterion yung gamit nila as opposed to von Mises. Kasi for one, madali siya i-calculate. And yun yun, madali i-calculate. Tapos bukod doon, mas conservative pa siya. So, which is always good in practice. No? Okay? So, okay tayo sa lesson today. May questions ba? Tapos, ano yung thoughts niyo about using MS Mathematics 4? Okay ba siya or is it confusing?
Hindi pa po namin na-try, sir. Pero feel ko po mas better po gamitin.
Okay, sige. How about the others? Ano yung, nagawa niyo na ba yung mga practice worksheets? They are due sometime soon, di ba? Tingnan ko nga, ano ba, kailan ba due to mga practice worksheet natin? Or tapos na ba? It's due, maraming due on the 13th. Uy, malapit na. May isang due today. Ano practice problem to? This is on, isang due today, 12 midnight. Tapos may dalawa due on the 13th. Tapos isa naman on the 20th. Yung worksheet. Okay? So, kumusta na, kasi we have time to spare, no? Meron pa naman tayong mga 12 minutes and I can